Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Drakkalan. This is Kingdom of Heroes Tactics War video, and today we are talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Ingway himself. We're going to do a review on this hero. He is probably, well, not probably, I will say he is the best tank in the game. He is one of the most versatile heroes that you could hope to pull in the game. If you're just getting started, you could definitely pull him for your starting hero and not regret it for a moment. So, let's pull him up real quick. I'm going to pull him up in Rune Manager. So I've had my Ingway since probably the second week of the game. I think somewhere in there I got him pretty early on, but not right away. Have yet to pull a life rune that I could slot into his slot 6. So we've been running him flat stat for a very long time. He's still almost hitting 6k HP. 6k HP is the number you were looking for on most Guardian heroes. The reason for this being, and thank you for the information that I was given in my comments below and in Discord, from some of the top tier players that watch my videos. I really appreciate the help that they've given me with growing my account. 6k is the number you're looking for so that you cannot get defense broken and one shot by a strong nuke in most circumstances. It helps your tanky bruiser team survive. It helps your defenses stay up, stay active. In the case of Ingway and other bruiser teams, the longer they stay alive, the harder they are to kill, especially when their HP is lower. So if you fail that first hit and they're on Earthquake runes, there's a good chance they're going to come back and run over your team that is attempting to burn them down before they get started. So, if you guys are trying to put runes on your heroes, we can cover that real quick in this video while we do this review. So, we want a slot 6 rune, so we'll select slot 6. We want it to be a life rune. I don't care about the status of it, whether it's normal, magic, rare, heroic, legendary. I don't care if it's 5-star or 6-star. I typically sell all my 1 to 4 stars. If you see any 1 to 4 star runes in my box, that's just because I haven't sold them yet. 5-star runes, if it's not legendary, I don't keep it. Silver is really rare in this game, or hard to come by when you're leveling up runes to plus 15, plus 12. So I try not to waste it on runes I'm not going to keep long term, especially now that I've got core teams built for practically everything in the game, even if I'm not running speed teams yet. So I recommend you guys do the same thing. Don't sell your runes until you have a core team built for all aspects of the game. Once you get that core team built, that's when you need to start being really picky. So then we click on custom filter at the bottom, this little drop down arrow. Main stat, we're going to set to max HP %, and we are going to apply. And as you can see, with all the rune farming I have done this week, and today is Tuesday, and we've been rune farming since Sunday, we have one 5-star rare max HP % rune. So still, it's going to be better than having that flat stat rune in there. We'll probably go ahead and take this up to plus 15, not today, we'll just take it to plus 12 today. So let's go ahead, pop that bad boy in there. We're just going to do a temporary equip, right? Because we want to see what the stat difference is going to be in this lower left-hand window. Blue is lower, red is higher. Click on it again. We will hit the upgrade button. And right here, you've got this up arrow you can click on. You can change this to 10 times, plus 3, plus 6, plus 9, plus 12, plus 15. In most circumstances, I keep it at plus 12 and just let it do its continuous upgrade. One great thing about this game that I really respect and like, I haven't seen any other games do it. I'm sure maybe some have, but I've played a lot of other of these gacha games. I get distracted a lot, or I play the game while I'm working, or just doing anything for that matter. So I may not watch my rune upgrade, I may not see where my substats increase. And that's it. You know, when you got a legendary rune and you're trying to be competitive, you want to see where your rolls go without having to try to keep up with it. So in this game, once it gets done upgrading to plus 12, it will tell us exactly where those rolls went, which is great. You know, it shows you from where you started and where you got to. You've also got the crafted reforge at the top. That's basically how you can transmute substats. So if I didn't like accuracy on here, I could change it to something else. If I had the proper stone, if I wanted to grind my stats up, I could grind that crit rate higher, that accuracy higher, again, as long as I have the right stones to do it. Or I could completely reforge the rune into something different. The dust you see at the top, right, so we've got 1.7 million silver right now because we keep selling a bunch of runes that we don't need. We also just came out of some silver events. Silver events still ongoing, so we have a lot of excess silver at the moment. It'll burn up pretty quick. I've got silver runes I need to roll, and a lot of runes I need to take up to plus 15. The gold dust next to it, the 226, that's because we just came out of another event where the devs are basically giving us free rune material. So that dust is what you use it for the reforge. Reforge doesn't change the primary stat, it changes the substats. So very nice utility. Alright, so we took it up to plus 12. Most of the rolls went into accuracy, one roll into crit rate, and then we got a flat attack at the bottom. That would have been better as flat HP or defense % preferably. Can't ask for too much more in a 5-star rune. So hit confirm on that, exit out of here, Make sure it's equipped. Yeah, so you see that our HP is going to go up by 348, not a huge number, but took us over that 6,000 threshold that we were looking for. We're losing 9 attack, and we are losing 162 defense, but we are gaining a little bit of crit rate, crit damage, resistance, and accuracy. So in my opinion, this is a win-win. That added accuracy is going to help with the provokes. It's going to help with the heal block. It's gonna. I'm not sure if it affects earthquake runes. That's something I probably need to look into. And then obviously the resistance is gonna help us from getting debuffed. Although when Ingway gets debuffed, he transfers those over. So let's go ahead and equip it. 5k. One thing to note: when you do equips in here, it'll say previously equipped runes will be sent to your rune inventory, so that's safe. In some screens, you need to pay attention to that because if you go to equip it, and I think this is under their specific rune windows, then it will destroy the rune when you go to override it. So just be really careful. Make sure you use the exchange rune set whenever you're bouncing between heroes, right? So if I want to use media, you know, give her Mary's runes, then that's what I'll do. I'll just click the checkbox, hit exchange, and good to go. That way you're not having to do it one at a time. Even though, as everybody knows, I hate moving runes around. Cost a bunch of silver. And anyway, so what we're talking about is Ingway. Go ahead and pull him up. So these are his new stats, right? We're at 6,009 HP, 1,165 attack, 1,000 defense, speed, 173 speed plus 56, and then the crit rate, crit damage, resistance, accuracy. So he is a guardian hero. We do want him to have high HP, high defense. We want him to have as much speed on top of that HP and defense as possible so that he can turn cycle, because we have him built on earthquake runes, right? So when you're building Ingway, the best rune set to have him on is Earthquake Life. Earthquake Revenge is probably going to be top tier. And we can check that again by going to the review screen. And recommended runes for growth: Charge, Life, Vampire. The reason the growth runes are a little bit different than what I'm recommending is because you start off with a bunch of charge runes. More than likely you're going to get some HP percent and some speed in there. So go ahead and toss those on them because those are part of your starter rune kits that they hand out. Same thing with Life and Vampire. Ingway has a lot of AoE attacks, and he has a counter attack, so you can definitely use him as a farmer. He is not the fastest farmer, but he is extremely consistent and easy to build, right? So you can get him going really fast and get him to clear all kinds of stages within PvE. He's just, like I said, the most versatile unit in the game. You can also see right here where some people have written up their reviews of him. These are level 1s. But the information they're given is correct. Best starter choice. In my opinion, Ingway is the best starter choice for the Nat 5 ticket that they give you, because he can clear F11, Fafnir 11, which is a Rune Dungeon, solo. He is able to help your team push through Toa. One of the best Toa heroes. He's one of the best Arena and Guild War heroes. He's just good everywhere. So you can't go wrong with him. That counterattack passive that he's got is great. Right here, most recommended starter hero, OP tank, self-sustain heals, debuff transfer, damage also scales off of max HP. Alright, Super Guardian ignores element and resistance from returning debuffs. Triple S hero, right? So all these people are agreeing with what I'm telling you. He is without a doubt one of the most prominent heroes in this game at the moment. If you look down here, people are building him once they have the right stats: Earthquake, Vampire, Life. I don't really see a reason to put him on Vampire unless you just have some insanely good Vampire runes. Even then, I would still go Earthquake. As soon as you can get him on a set of Earthquake runes, go ahead and do it. That'll make your Toa runs easier. And then Life is fine. Life, Revenge, any 2-stack set of runes you want to stick on there to help make up for whatever your substats are lacking is what I would go with. Alright, so look at details. 34% of us are using Earthquake runes. So that makes sense. And then Life is usually the preferred offset, and Revenge after that. And like I said, I'm going to be going with the Revenge set as soon as I get worthwhile Revenge runes to put on him. That's probably why this number is not higher, is people just don't have enough Revenge runes to spare to put on a Guardian yet. You want to build on max HP, speed, max HP as the most popular choice. And if you take a look at mine, right, we have that slot for speed rune. 21% resistance, so my runes aren't too bad if we take a quick look at them. I need to grind up a bunch of the stats. I need to transmute a couple of stats to something a little bit better. We've already got a couple of grinds coming in, but I just don't have enough stones yet. I haven't been farming for them. And I definitely want to build my Ingway faster. Like I said, I would like to get him closer to 200 speed if I could. That's going to be through substats. His HP is good. Maybe get his crit rate a little bit higher just so he can actually help kill and burn stuff down faster. So let's talk about his skills. As everybody stated, he has a lot of AoE skills. That's why he is prominent on Earthquake runes. I had to stop feeding him skill ups for the moment because I needed to focus on Mary because I'm trying to build a speed team. But with his, we've got Oncoming Chaos as his S1. This is his Provoke skill. Attacks enemies within a target area. Successful hits transfer 1 debuff from yourself to enemy's hit. Additionally, you have a 40% chance to provoke enemy's hit for 1 turn. This skill's damage increases when you have greater max HP. Alright, so this is what they're talking about, is the scaled HP. That's why you want to go speed HP. I say that 3 times. Because it's going to help his multiplier go up on the increased damage. Once I have my Mary fully skilled, I'm going to come back in here and I am going to take his S1 up until it has the effect rate level 7. Right, so he's got 10% more effect rate that he can put onto this chance to provoke, and I want that extra 10% in there to help with Guild War and Arena. PvE, I'm not too concerned about it, especially with the stuns. The damage is nice, but I mean, I've got too many other units that need the skill ups. I'm not going to worry about 10% extra damage off of his S1. Alright, going into S2, Nature's Paradox. This is also an AoE skill. Again, Earthquake Rune's going to land those stuns. Successful hits block HP recover at enemy's hit for 2 turns. Additionally, every successful hit has a 30% chance to apply continuous recovery on yourself for 2 turns. Nature's Paradox cooldown is reduced by 1 turn for every successful hit. Right, so if you're surrounded by enemies and you're provoking those enemies to keep them around you, and you pop Nature's Paradox, well, your cooldown goes down and you get that continuous recovery, and you're blocking their heals. Your Earthquake Runes have a chance to proc and stun a couple of enemies. So on this one, I got what I really needed, which was the reduced cooldown by 1 turn. The damage 15% is what I would go for next, and then level 4 through 8, not that necessary, just bonuses. It's what it took for me to get his S3 maxed out. I wanted his S3 maxed out because I wanted to max these skills, right, because it helps his accuracy. So S3, King's Wrath, Ingway's base accuracy increases by 25%. Additionally, Ingway has a 35% chance to counterattack when receiving an enemy's melee attack. Alright, so as long as he's getting hit up close, this is going to proc pretty often. You put Revenge Runes on there, that's going to give him a higher chance to proc, and that's just going to pop off. Again, you can stun off of this, you can stun off the counterattacks. So everything kind of builds upon itself and makes him an extremely overpowered unit. His S4, Power Rejuvenation. If Ingway doesn't have any active debuffs at the end of the turn, he recovers 12% of HP lost. If Ingway is below 30%, he gains increased defense for 1 turn. Alright, so this is why HP is important. He's already going to buff his own defense. He's going to recover his 12% HP. He's got that chance to put continuous recovery on himself. And he transfers debuffs with his S1 from himself to others. So he's always going to be popping an AoE skill, and that feeds into that Earthquake Rune. So what are the other things that Ingway does well? Well, we've already said he does really well in Arena. We can back that up by going to battle. Don't judge my Arena score this week, guys. I really have not had time to jump in here. I feel pretty bad about it. I said I was going to climb up this week, and I have failed you and myself. This is my current defense. FYI, if you guys find me in Arena, just go ahead and attack me. 2 of these units don't have runes on them. I'll let you guess which ones, but 2 of them are runeless. This is just a defense that's in there to scare people off. It worked for the first day or 2, but I think people have kind of figured out the secret. So let's go to ranking. We look at the ranking. We're going to go, I don't care about my ranking. Obviously, I have not been climbing. So world ranking, right? Let's look at what these guys are running. So you click on their name, click on Arena. We've been over this before. And guess who is showing up already? Ingway. Ingway, again, top tier hero. Lakshmi, Irene, great heroes. Both of them are free to play friendly for the most part. Irene is a Nat 4. Lakshmi is from a Nat 5 that you get from just participating in Guild War. Takes a couple of weeks to earn up the tokens, but definitely don't sleep on it. That needs to be your focus in Guild War. Let's check out number 2. See if we see another Ingway. Number 2, another Ingway. Surprise, surprise. Number 3. Whoop. Another Ingway. Right, and you see kind of the semblance with Irene and Lakshmi. Those are like the 3 prominent Guild War defense and Arena defense heroes. They're a very strong team to defeat. Again, you're going for that 6k HP, as much defense and speed as possible. The 3rd hero is going to be a damage dealer or a tanky character to help. So, moving to the top 3, let's do one more. I bet we're going to find another Ingway. Nope, no Ingway. Somebody's showing off all their L&Ds. So, that covers it for the Arena. Let's go take a look at the Guild War, which I need to do mine today. I haven't done my Guild War, so we'll jump in, and I'm not going to do that as part of this video, but we do have to knock that out this week. Or tonight. So, we're going to jump into the Guild War itself. Oh, well, see, this is what happens, right? Server just reset 2 hours ago, and we've already knocked out all the enemies. I didn't get a chance to attack because I've been busy sitting here making videos. Now I feel kind of crappy, leaving it up to my team. Or my guild to do it all for me. Right, so we'll start on the left-hand side. That's usually the stronger defense. No Ingway there. They must be saving it for their attack team. Right, so we've already got Ingway here. Same defense I'm building, except they have Claudia. Claudia is another stun hero, who also puts out pretty good damage. And then they've got Nixia. So you see the same team I'm building for my arena defense. They're running it already. They've got Eligos. So yeah, some of these defenses aren't what I would build. They're not bad. Ingway's popping up again. So if I'm going to just let you guys know, if you don't see Ingway on their defense team, it is because they're using him on offense. A lot of people have their Ingways built as their best unit on their account for good reason. So he's really good for that. If we look at my guild's defense teams. Alright, so we're sitting here. Let's see, did I get knocked out? I don't even see my name. Where am I at? Probably scrolling right past myself. Huh, did they take me out? Huh, I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. Oh, nope, there I am. I got knocked out. Oh, I didn't realize I still had Vivian in there. Vivian's got some crappy runes on her right now. That's why. And Ifrit, I need to take her off of that team, and Freya. So I gotta update my Guild Wars team, but definitely got my Ingway in here. As you can see, his rune, even though I've changed it, it hasn't updated here. The only time your rune stats update here is during the defense reset. So whenever you're applying your defense, sometimes you need to click off and click in your hero just to make sure it's going to apply the most recent runes that you've put on them. See, Ingway. So, very popular hero, like I said, for defense and attack. And then if we go battle, and we go to Rune Dungeon, and we take a look at F11, right? So if you look at F11, you click record, you see Ingway is the #1 pick because he can solo this. So new players choose Ingway as their starter hero, they can jump into this Rune Dungeon, not right away, but pretty early on, once they put some decent HP runes on Ingway, and he will sit here, and because of that buff transfer, that's what allows him to solo. Right, so if we jump in, we'll just do this real quick. I'm not going to make you guys sit through the whole thing. This is my team if you're curious. I run Ingway, Mary, Thea, and Freya. You can also run Apollon. I run him sometimes. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be faster, but I'd need, again, better rune quality to get there. My Mary's kind of the slowdown. I need her to clear waves faster, so the crit rate needs to be higher. The attack needs to be a lot higher. Alright, so hit start battle, and this will give you an example of how Ingway works. And the good thing, too, about Ingway is you're not really relying on his AI to be smart. He's just going to go in and do what he does, right? So we got a stun from the Earthquake rune. We got 2 provokes. Freya came in, put out AoE dots, along with another stun set off of her, because she's also on Earthquake runes. Thea and Mary are both on the stats. Hang on, what is this doing? Let's see. Sorry, my music, because I swap over whenever I'm uploading. I get different YouTube accounts. I'm YouTube Red on my primary, but on my Drakkalan account for this mobile game, it is not a YouTube Red or Prime. Alright, so this is a slowdown on my F11 team. I'll probably do a more in-depth review on these heroes later. But Mary just doesn't crit enough, so she's just not always killing fast enough to justify. Alright, so here we are with the boss, F11. So what he does is he's going to put continuous damage on everybody. On top of putting continuous damage on the entire team, he will keep summoning those adds. So you just want to go ahead and target the boss. That way your AoE skills will burn down the adds. And then once Ingway gets up next to the boss, he'll start transferring those continuous damage debuffs to the boss, and he'll control the additional units by provoking them to attack him. And then a stun just helps keep you guys alive. As you can see, I'm not running a healer. And I don't even need Freya's invincibility. But Ingway could definitely run this by himself, no problem. And then Thea is there to speed it up, and again Mary is there to speed it up, because the more of the adds that you kill, the less turns they're going to take, which is just going to knock seconds off of the runtime. We run, I think 1:43 is the best time, but typically it's right at 2 minutes, 2:15. If you guys were wondering how to select the boss, right, you see the symbol above them. That's not marking it as the boss symbol, and then you can click the cogwheel at the top right, and it kind of labels out everything. So we're at default value because we're not on my phone. So we'll just go ahead and select the boss monster, hit confirm, and let it run. But on my phone and my tablet, I've got everything set up to just attack boss monsters straight away, which definitely speeds up the runs. So this one's going to be a little bit slower than it should be. And you see how wide his AoE hits? It's pretty nice. And right there you can see he's got the heal block on the boss. Thea's down. Doesn't even matter. They're literally just there to speed up the run times. The one thing that you're going to find you struggle with before you have decent runes is the turn counter in the upper right. Alright, we're down to 24 turns. And Ingway doesn't care about the turn counter because his counter attack will be enough to land the debuffs onto the boss to bring the boss down. Alright, so another stun. AoE debuffs have been transferred. And sometimes it might be faster just to let Ingway come in by himself because it's going to guarantee that he goes after the boss. But if you build things correctly, and with better rune quality than I have, you will definitely run this in under a minute with a team such as this. So right now we're kind of moving slow because the only person putting dots out is Ingway. So Mary's down, and this is like this boss it's impossible for him to kill an Ingway unless your runes are just that bad. But you could probably do this with white 5-star runes, I would imagine, as long as it's speed, HP. It'll just be slower considering your HP would be lower. And this is times 3. I'd speed it up faster if I could, but I don't want to go in and edit the video just for the last 30-40 seconds of it. And see, the one thing with the ads though is he's not always getting that debuff to land on the boss himself. I think I took too many turns with my other heroes, and this may be the first time I've lost F11 in months because I'm recording it. It's amazing how that works. Like I've been running this all day and all week and haven't lost a single time. Don't let me down, boy. Gonna come down to the wire, it looks like. So boss puts more continuous damage on us. Again, counterattack. We apply the damage back to him. And Ingway rarely gets under half HP, so if we miss any more continuous damage transfers, it's gonna kind of keep us from winning. Alright, so we got 3 turns left. He's down to a slither. We should win in the next turn. You know, if we could land a dot. There we go. Alright, that got really close. I swear that doesn't happen. Man, that was about to be embarrassing. It's already been embarrassing. That's probably one of the slowest runs I've had in a lot. Yeah, 4 minutes and 51 seconds because I didn't have the boss targeted. You know, I'm running this off of BlueStacks just so I can emulate it and record it. But my best time 143, like I said. Typically these runs are between 150 215 on average. Usually right at 2 minutes is how long it takes me to run this. So at least I gave you guys the example. You saw it. Definitely could have been better. I apologize for that. And if there's anything else you would like to see, just leave it in the comments below. This has been a review for Ingway.